people, that's an adaptation. This is how they adapted to their childhood. They grew up in families where they were not accepted, seen for they were. They might have been traumatized. The adaptation was to make themselves, to suppress their authentic emotions and to try and fit in with other people's expectations and to meet other people's needs. That's the adaptation. But that adaptation puts tremendous stress on the person, and that stress causes the illness. So what I'm saying is that the illness is the outcome of an adaptation. The core directive is twofold. One is we have to attach, we have to belong, we have to connect. But the other directive is that we have to do so while maintaining our own autonomy, our own authenticity. Auto means the self. So that means we have to be in touch with our gut feelings and our emotions and to be true to them. And so what we need is relationships in which we can be true to ourselves. That's the directive. Now, as soon as the directive changes because this is what we're wired for. For example, authenticity, being in touch with your gut feeling. Out there in the wild as a hunter-gatherer, how long do you survive if you're not in touch with your gut feelings? So that's an essential thing. But what if you grew up in a home where your honest emotions are not accepted by your parents? Let's say your parents have read Jordan Peterson book, 12 Rules for Life, where he actually says that an angry child should be made to sit by themselves till they come back to normal. Or that parents should be able to hit their kids in order to get them to comply. Now, if a child experiences healthy, normal anger of a 2-year-old, but the message he gets that if you're angry, you will not be accepted by us. In fact, you'll be excluded, you'll be given a time out, we won't even be with you until you come back to quote-unquote normal, then the child will adaptively repress their anger so as to maintain their relationship with their parents. So they give up their authenticity for the sake of the attachment. That giving up of the attachment suppresses not just the emotions, but because the emotions are physiologically connected to the immune system. In fact, they're part and parcel of the same apparatus. When you suppress your emotions, you're suppressing your immune system as well. And now you're asking, why are we seeing a rise of autoimmune disease in this society? Which we are. And as globalization spreads, we're seeing more autoimmune disease around the world. It's because people are more and more having to suppress themselves to fit in with the false expectations of a society. So that's the link.
Well, millions suffer from autoimmune diseases, right, whose immune systems may be a bit too active already. So might eating healthy make things worse by boosting their immune function further? No. Those who eat healthy appear protected from autoimmune diseases given the extraordinary rarity of most autoimmune diseases among those following a traditional plant-based diet. For example, before they westernized their diet, not a single case of multiple sclerosis was diagnosed among 15 million people. What about treating autoimmune diseases with a plant-based diet? Well, even a semi-vegetarian diet was found to successfully treat Crohn's disease better than any other intervention. The best result in relapse prevention. And Crohn's is an autoimmune disease, right? So what about treating MS with diet? But hey, MS is no walk in the park. If only there was some simple, safe, cheap, side effect-free solution that also just so happened to be the most effective treatment for MS ever described. Dr. Roy Swank, who we lost at age 99, distinguished neurologist, over 170 scientific papers published, but let me just cut to the chase. He found that in all probability, MS is caused largely by the consumption of saturated animal fat. Now, he thought it was the sludging of the blood caused by even a single meal high in saturated fat that may clog some of the little capillaries that feed our nerves. But now we know that animal fats have all sorts of adverse effects, such as inflammation. So who knows what the actual mechanism may be? Regardless, the results Dr. Swank published remain the most effective treatment of multiple sclerosis ever published in the peer-reviewed medical literature. In patients with early-stage MS, 95% were without progression of the disease 34 years later after adopting his low-saturated fat dietary program. To date, no medication or invasive procedure has ever even come close to demonstrating such success. Doesn't cost $30,000, doesn't give you leukemia, and works better.